BLM, or Black Lives Matter, has sent millions of dollars to Canada charity to buy a mansion. So let's get right into the story. So, Black Lives Matter transferred millions to a Canadian charity run by the wife of its co founder to purchase a sprawling mansion that had once served as the headquarters of the Communist Party, public records show. So, M4BJ, a Toronto based nonprofit set up by Janaya Khan and other Canadian activists, snagged the 10,000 square foot historic property for the equivalent of $6.3 million in basically the dollar in cash in July 2021, according to Toronto property records viewed by the New York Post. Now, the interesting thing about this, like, they literally sent millions of dollars to literally buy a mansion because for a property to be deemed a mansion, it has to hit 10,000 square feet. So I find it pretty interesting. Khan is the wife of Patrice Khan Kalors, a co founder of Black Lives Matter Global Foundation Network and a self avowed Marxist. She resigned from the group last year, a month after the Post revealed that she had spent $3.2 million on homes in Georgia and Los Angeles, and Khan Kalors vigorously denied that BOM donations were used to buy the homes. Now, the purchase of the Toronto property, named the Wild Seed Center for Art and Activism, came to light amid mounting concerns over the U.S. activist group's lack of transparency in its finances. So, in Canada, the purchase was criticized by two senior members of the group who resigned earlier this month over the building's funding. For BLM Canada to take money from BLM Global Network for a building without consulting the community was unethical, tweeted Sarah Jama earlier this month. For BLM Canada to refuse to answer questions from young black organizers goes against the spirit of movement building. The questions were raised as BLMGNF is going through its own internal turmoil as two activists were put in place to manage the organization after Khan Kalors' resignation abruptly left in September, according to a report in the Washington Examiner. So Makani Themba and Manifa Bandeli told a newspaper that they didn't know who is managing the group's more than $66 million windfall from Thousand Currents, a non-profit that managed its donations. Thousand Currents transferred the cash to BLM GNF in October 2020 when it broke with the group, according to public filings. Unfortunately, this appears to be an epic abuse of public trust in which an entire movement's resources are being squandered on the whims and financial mismanagement of one person and their inner circle of friends and family, said Tom Anderson, director of the Government Integrity Project of the National and Legal Policy Center, a Virginia based watchdog group. Neither Black Lives Matter in the US nor the Canadian nonprofit returned the New York Post emails seeking comment. And the reason why we're kind of like covering this to begin with is that this kind of goes to show you the potential dangers of donating for any real cause that you believe in, whether you believe in it like into like I guess BOM or into something else like, you know, don't kill babies or something dot charity something, right? Like, the reason why you gotta be careful is because when it comes down to it, and a lot of people don't necessarily want to admit it, charities are just basically for-profit businesses that don't have to pay taxes, basically, right? Like, it's just a different like tax like structure in terms of what they are like required to deal with, right? And of course, it also like it differs a lot between like country and country as to which charities and what they're allowed to do and all that kind of stuff, the requirements. But like this is the same kind of like issue with, for example, the Red Cross, right? You donate millions and millions and millions of dollars to the Red Cross. Like a lot of people donate a lot of money to the Red Cross, right? But sometimes they get into like situations where they basically say they're going to do something with the funds, but they don't, right? There was like a pretty not too long ago situation with the Red Cross where they basically said that, oh yeah, we're gonna like provide food, we're gonna provide help, we're gonna like build up these like quick homes or something structures to like help out people that were massively devastated, right? And they literally basically did nothing. But somehow they justified spending like I don't know like $200 million or something crazy, right? Oh, actually, let's just do like a little quick search up, right? Red Cross charity uh, issues, just so that you could like get like a little bit better understanding. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Right, this is the thing that I was talking about. So, in search of the Red Cross's $500 million in Haiti relief, right? So, when a devastating earthquake leveled Haiti in 2010, millions of people donated to the American Red Cross, and the charity raised almost $500 million. It was one of its most successful fundraising efforts ever, and the American Red Cross vowed to help Haitians rebuild. But after 5 years, the Red Cross's legacy in Haiti is not new roads or schools or hundreds of new homes. It's difficult to know where all the money went. And like I'm not going to get like fully in depth into like the issue with the Red Cross. I believe someone who did this really well is a YouTuber called Jake Tran. I believe he did like a little mini documentary about it. But the thing to really understand is like this is the problem with charities. Like because when it comes down to it, they are just businesses for profit that simply have to deal with taxes differently. Like that is the only difference, right? So when you see like all these like really super elite individuals like Bill Gates or someone like that, and they're like, oh, we got a foundation or we got like a trust or like we got this charity that we set up in our name, blah 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 kind of stuff, right? It's just a different business with a separate tax structure, but it's still a business, right? So they're going to basically do everything they can to make the most amount of money as possible, period, right? Regardless of what they claim is their moral standing or like what their moral goals are out there or like what they're actually trying to achieve. In the grand scheme of things, it's just a business trying to make a profit. I mean, that's basically all it is.